Javed sir, shall I start? Good evening to all and welcome in session 9 of day 5 in Atal FDP. Today we are pleased to have with us engineer Tarun Jain, a DevOps and site reliability engineer in SRE TR Global Capabilities in Pune with rich experience in modern infrastructure and cloud environments. He brings deep expertise in middleware, developments, change management, and Linux server administration, along with a strong command over WebLogic and JBoss middleware technologies. His proficiency in developing custom shell scripts, building robust CI/CD pipelines, and leveraging Kubernetes, Ansible, observability, and monitoring solutions has significantly enriched operation proficiency across multiple high-performance systems. Mr. Tarun Jain's passion for operational excellence, reliability engineering, and automation continues to make a remarkable impact in shaping scalable, resilient, and future-ready IT infrastructure. We are delighted to welcome him and inviting him to deliver technical session on building benefits of AI and IoT discussed in leading sources on Indian smart city projects. Tarun sir, kindly take
Yep.
over the session.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the welcome note. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So, thank you for the introduction. Today, I'm going to present you on the topic. So, I'll just begin with sharing my screen. Ma'am, should I take over the screen?
Yes.
Okay. Uh, Let me know if it's visible for everyone.
Yes, sir. It's a visual, sir.
It's visible.
Okay. Okay. So, and what the topic is bridging technology and humanity through AI-driven smart healthcare. So I have enhanced the version of the what we had the topic. So thank you for the opportunity to present in this platform, the Atal platform. Uh, like as you all know already about me, so I'll skip this slide. Uh, so, beginning with today's agenda, we have the evolution of IoT and AI in healthcare in domain, smart city integration with the AI and IoT. Third thing is AI-driven infrastructure and monitoring, a case study about agentic AI and agentic AI at a glance, which will be like the introductory thing for the ones who those who are unaware of the agentic AI, and the last will be Q&A for the session. So so for the very first thing I'll begin with is usage of IoT and healthcare industry in the healthcare industry. Now, as you all know, with the advancement of pandemic, there were many uh, blockages. There were many issues with all Indian healthcare industry, not only in India but even in Europe and uh, the other parts of the world. We saw that there were many challenges which overall healthcare industry or the hospitals or the facilities where people could got a better treatment. So they face many challenges. So now we are into a post-pandemic phase, and we are we are having all the efficiency. We are also having all the enhancements in this industry. So there is IoT. IoT is a buzzword since many years. So as you all know, IoT enables real-time monitoring, and that it's not only for the hospital industry or healthcare industry. It's also for many real-time operations or real-time events. We are having those devices. So there are wearables, there are smart beds, there are remote diagnostic sensors. So considering this like specific to the healthcare domain and smart cities, we have a good example of a patient monitoring, data aggregation, and predictive care. So many of you might be having the smartwatches or the smart wearables or the applications on your phone or the smartphone devices, which you will see gradually that people are monitoring their data related to the steps they have walked or the how much time they have uh, done the jogging or how much time they have spent on treadmill or any other data, right? So exercising, there is also like sleep timer or the data which will give you that how many hours you have slept or how many hours you were on the bed. So there are many smart devices which have been introduced recently. Many of us are using, but many of us are not using. But there are many health-based apps like Healthify Me, or there are other applications like Ekin Care is also there, Wellness Corner is also there. So they are having a tracker or they are having a uh, like devices which enables us to track ourselves, the heartbeat or the heart rate, whatever we can say. So there are many objects or there are many things which helps self-monitoring our health. So one of the I'll be focusing on only single example which I have created a demo for, and rest I'll give you a generic overview of how entire flow and how it is working. So the third thing is India's IoT healthcare market has reached about $2.5 billion, and this is the prediction for 2026 by the NASCOM. So NASCOM, as you all know, is a national or global agency which is enabling uh, all these statistics and all it's collecting all the data worldwide, and not only in India but also worldwide. So NASCOM is a certified agency that is giving this figure. So second thing here we are talking about is use cases the for the smart city and for the healthcare. So both we have to consider simultaneously here. So now I'm talking about the examples where we are getting the data from. So the very first pointer is wearable vitals tracking. So as you all know, if I am wearing a smartwatch or if I am wearing a wearable which gives me certain data or it tracks certain data. For example, if it is giving me my heartbeat count, if it so there would be a normal range of 70 to 90 or 100, whatever is the range of normal heartbeat. It ranges differently in male and female. So there would be some range depending on whatever activity you are doing. So there would be an ideal range. Okay. So this is one of the example wearable vitals tracking. So this is happening from your end, like you are wearing a watch or you are tracking it on your smartphone. So this is one. Second example is smart ICU and remote monitoring. So uh, in advanced hospitals or the hospitals which have advanced services, there are now the introduction of smart ICU and remote monitoring. So as you all know, that ICU is the intensive care unit where stringent monitoring is required for the patients with critical or which are in need of critical care. So they are monitoring it 24/7, or there is someone in the shift or there is someone on the desk available 24/7 for ICUs. So they have to monitor it manually as of now. For the ones which are the smart ICUs or which are already equipped with smart systems, they they will be now enhanced and they will be equipped with big monitors where they'll be getting data from each bed. As you all know that our like in India we are having many hospitals and we are not having private ICUs. We there are private ICUs, but in general, we are having around, say, 20 beds per ICU room or per ICU hall. Okay, so for the 20 beds, there will be 20 tracking devices and maybe like oximeter or maybe oxygen level or maybe heartbeat or blood pressure level, whatever is the parameter they have to monitor or they have to check, they will be getting it on the screens or the centralized screen, and they'll be getting the alert for the same. So smart ICU and remote monitoring. Third one is AI based health predictions. So as I told you in the first example, which is wearable vitals tracking, so you are giving a certain amount of data to any application which is tracking your data, maybe heartbeat, maybe like any of the data, okay, which is concerning with your health. So this data is being is fed to the application which is responsible for predicting certain set of diseases. So for example, if you are having like if you're running for continuously for say half an hour or 15 minutes, okay, and the amount or the this rate at which your heartbeat is increasing or the rate at which uh, your the way you should breathe or jo what we call it as सांस फूलना, okay, like you are already pumped up with your lungs, and it should happen after a certain interval or it should happen only after say 10 minutes. So if it is happening at the very earlier stage, or if you are not able to walk, or if you're not able to run for say even 5 minutes, so they are having a certain data, and based on that data, which is already fed to the system or the model which you are training, so it will predict certain amount of say X disease or Y disease. This you can happen. Say blood, you can have a diabetic system. You can also have a high blood sugar, or you can also have say uh, you can have a probability of having a cardiac arrest or heart, any of the diseases which is like which is related to heart problems. Okay, so this is the third example, which is AI based health predictions. The fourth one is the smart ambulance systems. So as you all know, there are many cases where there are like road accidents are happening, or there is a need where ambulance needs to be called up ASAP as soon as possible. So you're even if you are dialing 108 and or 100, whatever is the code for the health line help in your city, so there would be a channel. So once you give a call to the centralized health helpline number, it will give you it will ask you for the details, where you are, where are you located, what exactly happened, and so on. So sequence on series of questions will be asked, and and meanwhile that, like, that is very precious time for any of the patient to get the first response. So that precious time will be lost in that case. So connected ambulance system will be helping you in giving the live location, in giving you the exact, the near, like what we have in Ola and Uber or the Rapido, like assist you connecting with the nearest like cab, right? So similar to that, the ambulance which are available nearby or which are already on the way, or like the emergency services if you are on any highway. So there would be the nearest emergency services or response team. They will get connected and you will be getting assistance on for ambulance for in that for that purpose. So there are like these are a couple of examples which we are now using and which are already implemented in many places of our country. But these needs to be, spread widely so that people are aware of it and people are able to use it on time. So I'll move next. Um, I'll talk about a little on the market, which is related to your IoT in like healthcare and smart cities. So as you all know, $2.5 billion is the predictions for 2026. This market will gradually grow more by 230, and it's like global the average growth rate, which is CAGR, is average is 25% per annum until the next 5 years, which is year 2030. Um, Now, as we all are having Amazon or Flipkart or any of the shopping cart apps, we are like aware of Boat, we are aware of Noise, or we are aware of Bolt. These are very newly set up or new startups which began, in they introduced a new generation of watch or the smart watches or the wearables to be exact, which are tracking all sets all kind of data for us, right? So this the adoption of such kind of wearable devices have increased. May it be app where whatever company you're using, Samsung, Apple, maybe any of the ones which I took name of. So these are the devices which are trending now, and these are the ones which will help you enable getting all the data about yourself, about your body, about your health. So this will also help you in enabling or predicting the diagnosis for your upcoming diseases or upcoming health issues. Okay, and remote diagnostics is one of the way. Like if many of you might have used Practo or any other app which is having the online consultation facilities or video consultation facilities, so there might be like if you might have used, so you might be aware that there are uh, like they'll ask you certain set of questions. It will be like in form of yes or no, or it will be in form of certain range, like if you're feeling sour, if you're feeling like if you're having that kind of taste in your mouth, if you're seeing a redness or yellowness in your eyes, or if you're feeling dizzy, whatever may be the symptoms. So based on those symptoms, you will be getting diagnostic support from the doctor or the medical officer. So this is one of the things which I wanted everyone to get acquainted with. Uh, Now, the very important part is integrating these variables or integrating this data with these smart city initiatives. Okay, so as you all know, there are about 250 initiatives taken by like the government of India for smart city. Around 246 was the exact number, but now they have increased. I'm not sure about the current figure, but it was earlier 246. So the among that smart city initiatives, one of them was integrating the healthcare facilities, in which three key points were there, which included emergency response routing, like I mentioned, like like Ola, Uber is having the data of like real-time data of the nearest cab or nearest auto or nearest rickshaw you want to opt for. So there will be a real-time data fed in the centralized system for emergency response, which will be having data of the ambulances or the emergency response team. Suppose if you are on any expressway or if you are on any of the highways, so there are nodal points, or there are like after every like certain amount of like certain kilometers you have emergency services set up. So they'll be having they will be giving you the feeding you the feeding the centralized server with the current data. And whenever you are in emergency, or whenever you need any emergency services, so on basis on the nearest point, they will be routed, or they will be giving you or providing you the support for that purpose. Second thing in smart city initiative is smart hospital beds, and ambulance telemetry. So the thing, this happened in COVID. Many of you are aware that there were like the facilities, the hospitals and other medical facilities were not capable of handling all, like they were not capable of handling the full occupancy of the hospital. Like the beds were shrinking, the total number of beds were not able to cope up with the number of patients which were in like coming or getting admitted to the hospitals. So there was no tracker earlier, and there was no data that like although the hospitals have the data that they have so many number of beds, but there was not a real time tracker which was giving you that this hospital is having this much occupancy, and this hospital is the nearest, and this will be able to help you in more quicker way or in less time. So that also was introduced post COVID. And talking about the ambulance telemetry, so even if if the request goes for like if you take example of Ola and Uber again. So their request will go in the vicinity of say 1 kilometer or 2 kilometer or 3 kilometer, whatever is the range. Uh, that will be in circle. Okay, so within that circle, whatever cab or whatever auto is getting request, they'll be communicated from the requester. Like I am requesting a ride, so I will be communicating that I am in need of a ride. So I have communicated it once. Now it's on the it's one to many, right? So for the cab or for the auto which has accepted, there will be a retransmission from that auto wala or from that cab wala, which will give status or signal that is the ride is already accepted. So no second person will be accepting the ride for that person. Okay, so same goes for the ambulance. When there is a request for ambulance services or emergency services, the nearest ambulance which has responded first, or which has the shortest time reaching the place of the event or the accident, so they will be sending a communication signal that this service has been reaching to that place or to the accident site. Okay, so this is a kind of telemetry, or the what we call the protocols, where request and response are acknowledged and communicated through the signals or channels. So this is the second thing. The third important point is cloud-based adaptive traffic control for patient mobility. So in our city also, like in if I take example of Jabalpur, so Jabalpur has grown, progressed further in like past 10 years, and you are able to see more four-wheelers on the road, and more traffic or more congested roads are now visible. But the size of the road, the size of the population have increased, but the size of the road is the same. So we are getting like in traffic jams, we are stuck in many places, many like signals are there, and many places signals are not working, and people are, randomly going and not following anything, and they're just like creating a mess. So this is one thing which is the cloud-based adaptive traffic control system, where Google Maps or the Apple Maps, which are the two major provider, Google Earth, whatever the source of live real-time traffic data we are taking. So the Google Maps API, I'll take example of Google Maps only. So Google Maps API will be giving you the feed of current traffic, okay, and that you will get the real-time data from Google Maps on the traffic, and basis on that you will have to adopt the path, or the nearest hospital you have to rush is basis on that route, which will be fed from the Google Maps. So this is very normal thing which many of us might be following or using Google Maps. But since we all are so much acquainted with the roads or with the daily path which we follow to travel to college or travel back from college to home, that we don't usually use the maps, right? So this is important for people, whether you are acquainted with all the roads, all the gullies, all the mohallas of our shahar, of our city. But this is very important point to use that tracking system, or to use the Google Maps for the purpose of earliest response to be given to the patient in need. So cloud-based, why cloud-based is used here is because the data is coming from the cloud. It may be from the Google Cloud, maybe from the Google Earth. So the data is centralized, and you are using the API, application programming interface, to get that data from your the service provider. So here, if I say Google Maps, so Google is the service provider for that API, and which is also cloud-based application, right? So you are getting a real-time data fed on to your mobile devices. So the reason why we are using cloud-based keyword here is because now the on-the-go data are fed directly from the cloud-based applications to your smartphones or smart devices. So that's why the cloud-based adaptive traffic control for the patient mobility. Patient mobility can be like with with ambulance or without ambulance. So for either ways, this integration is required for better response or the earliest response for the patient or for the people needing medical care. Now let's talk a little bit about agentic AI in IoT healthcare. So if I may ask, like how many of you are aware with the this keyword agentic AI? So I would assume like many of you are aware of the keyword agentic AI, but if you're not, I'll just give you a brief introduction about what is in AI. In artificial intelligence, there are many paradigm which are being used for various purposes, and they are serving different purposes. So the one which we are normally using in ChatGPT, in our Copilot, Microsoft Copilot, are the ones which is generative AI. We are giving some prompts to the system, and the prompts, basis on the prompts which we are feeding to the system, we are getting a certain output generated. Okay, so this is what we are generating the output, or we are feeding the data and it's giving us the output. Agentic AI. Suppose like agentic AI is all about an agent which will act uh, like like an agent on behalf of any of us, which requires a data to be fetched or which requires a certain task to be completed. So the AI agent will be in place. Suppose if you want that you want to book a car ticket at 10 a.m. Indian Standard Time for source to destination, say Jabalpur to Mumbai CSMT, and you are providing your IRCTC credentials to that agentic, like the agent, AI agent, and you will be logging to the IRCTC website or the IRCTC mobile app. So you are giving access, all required access, you are giving all required data to that agent, which will be, giving you entire reservation part completed without doing anything. So you are already giving everything, every data, even your login credentials, your password, your source city, your destination, your train number which you want to book. Okay, and if you are boarding from any other station, so you also have to give you the boarding point, and even you have to give your credentials for, say, Paytm or Google Pay or Phone Pay, whatever application you are using for the payment service. So that is kind of the agentic AI example which we will be using. So if everyone is understood about agentic AI, I'll move forward. So can I get a like acknowledgement? Can I get a feedback if everyone is with me till here?
Yes, sir, you may proceed.
Okay. So I'll begin with the example which is for our healthcare and smart cities. So there will be an AI agent. An AI agent will be comprising of your smart devices, your devices which are monitoring patient data in hospitals, say one which are in available in ICU. So oximeters, all your heartbeat, all your ECG data, all other data. So all those data will be fed into a system or into application, and there will be certain sensors. Okay, so AI agent will sense that data based on the sensors, and it will think about the data, okay, which is fed into the application. So as I discussed earlier, there will be certain range based if you are male or female, if your heartbeat is in certain range, if your blood pressure is in certain range, it will be low blood pressure or high blood pressure, whatever is the data. Okay, so the data will be trained for these all these scenarios. The data will be trained, and based on that training set, the system will be thinking and taking a action. So it will sense, it will think, and then it will act. So basis on the data which we have already trained the system, the action will be taken. So what kind of action will be taken? Like there can be an alarm, there can be a signal sent to the monitoring or the people on duty for that ICU unit, or for that for example, if there is a critical patient, so a doctor is appointed for him or for say 12 hours in his shift, say evening 6 p.m. to morning 6 a.m. So for that 12 hours, the signal will be sent to that doctor on and the nurse in charge for that particular time interval. So this is the action. So our action are very limited because still healthcare industry or the healthcare facilities, the real time action is more important than the signals which we receive. So the late action taken is very dangerous for any of the patient's life. So to coop up, or to, this is a drawback in medical system. Okay, so to reduce that time, response time, what we call MTTR, mean time to provide the response for any of the triage, or any of the this request received in that sense. So this needs to be automated through the triage response system. So the second point I'm coming to is automate triage responses. So if I have triggered any alarm, say if in our college there is any of the classroom is having any fire, so the fire sprinkler should automatically trigger the like water, or the sprinklers should be automatically activated in that classroom without waiting for any like manual effort or manual intervention to be, to come and see if the fire was actually there or not. Okay, so automated triage response is required in that particular at that particular point to give the faster, quicker response. Okay, the third point is predictive recovery analytics. So predictive recovery analytics is same as, like, if you're not drinking water for say, like, example, if you should drink 4 liter of water every day, and if you're not drinking that, you might be having dry skin, you might be having you might not be able to do your morning activities in like very smoother, quicker manner. Okay, you might be having some congestion in your stomach. Okay, so you might be facing some common things which are cause of not having a certain amount of water every day, right? So it's because of shortage of water in your body, dry skin or dryness, or whatever. Okay, so prediction based on the data or the analytics, which uh, which will help you to recover. So there would be an alarm which will be set every half an hour or every hour, which will say drink water. So like when I'm working, it happened to me in say summers. So as all our offices, all our classrooms are air conditioned, like in our college also there are certain labs or classroom which are fully air conditioned, and we don't feel like drinking water every time, right? Because the temperature is already regulated. So when you step outside, you might be feeling that like immediately you might not feel to have water, but that will gradually create like scarcity, or the water retention in your body will gradually decrease due to that. Okay, so basis on this is one of the example of which I am giving you. So basis on such data, your like you should have an app which will trigger alarm that you have to drink water every half an hour or every hour. So this is one of the example. So now many people forget to take medicines on time. Suppose if you want to have an antacid before breakfast or before your meal, so you should have that. But we have we all are busy, we all are professionals, so we might not be, we are stuck in traffic. By the time we reach college, the time which we should have taken the medicine has gone, and then after you immediately rushed to your classroom and you started giving your lectures. So what happened, you skipped that particular medicine, and you skipped that uh, you skipped that crucial point which you should have taken the medicine. So there should be an alarm which will help you stating that you have to take a medicine. So this is one of the like predictive analysis, and this is recovery why I am considering this in recovery, because whatever medicine you are taking is helping you recover with your any of the disease. It may be a common cough and cold, or it may be any of the thing which for which you are taking the medicine. Okay, so the fourth point is multi-source data decision engine. So I'll give you an example again for the cab thing. So the data which I am, see, if I am booking a cab, I am requesting a cab for source A to source B. There might be drivers which are not uh, following that direction, or which are not going in the direction where I have chosen the destination. So the signal might be like circulating across all the cab drivers. Okay, so data which is generated from single source, which is I have requested the ride, so it will be going to multiple source. Okay, and the decision to which like what all set of cab drivers it should go is based on like the nearest the distance, okay, the time, the direction which the cab driver have chosen to go. Okay, and the fourth is the amount. Okay, amount may vary from like application to application, or to the like driver to driver. It may vary because sometimes it will ask you that dynamically price have changed, are you accepting this new fare? Okay, so there might be many parameters which will decide the flow of your request. So similar way there might be parameters which will be deciding like what treatment or what exact treatment or what exact diagnosis needs to be done, or for example uh, ambulance, which is the nearest ambulance which needs to be called up. Okay, or for example, if the medicines are concerned, if you are ordering medicines online, or if you're ordering medicines in your hospital room, then what like apart from the one which is authorized in hospital, if you're ordering from outside, so which medical person or medical agent will deliver you the medicines faster or at the cheaper rate? Say everyone is giving 10% discount or 15% discount, but some of them are selling it on MRP, right? So there are multiple sources and multiple data. Like for single set of data, there would be a decision based on multiple sources. So that's what I'm trying to explain over here, that decision engine is one, like decision maker is one, data is for a single data, there are multiple data sources, and decision making is done based on like for many of us might know FCFS, let's say first come first serve. There would be round robin, or there would be like the type of request we are like feeding like based on the system's requirement, like we are choosing round robin or FCFS model, right? Which we are normally catering the requests in any of the fashion, right? So last in, first out, whatever, like these are the common examples. But decision making, like which one we need to choose, what is our application size, what is our requirement exactly. So the decision making will be done basis on the requirement. So agentic AI will take care of that, not like the one which manually we are doing, right? So that's what agentic AI has been introduced now, and I have given you examples for that. So now this is a flow diagram for uh, this is a generic diagram. This is not specific to anything, okay? But I'm giving you a broad level understanding that will help you to understand how the system will flow from your device to the response or response team, or how the devices will get connected. Okay, so there the very first thing you will be able to see here is the sensor. So how the sensor will help you. The sensor is in your device, the watch. The sensor is in the device where the ICU unit are sending the data. Like there is a continuous beep which will trigger every 30 seconds or every 1 minute, that will tell that the heartbeat is on. Okay, there will be a sensor which will give you a beep every say, like for ECG data there would be a certain noise, so it should be moving to and fro, like up and down, up and down. The graph should be continuously rotating. That will help you identify that your heartbeat beats are normal in a certain range, right? So this is the part that sensor is playing. So sensor is sensing the data. Okay. Now once the data has been sensed, it should be analyzed and it should be fed into the system. So it's not necessary that hospital will be maintaining its own centralized system. So if you want to hire that if you don't want to own any particular software, if you don't want to maintain it, so you are giving it to any third party. Suppose if I am taking the services from XYZ IT Solutions Private Limited, okay, and this company is monitoring the data which I am giving them to analyze. So they will be having a gateway. Okay, so we have a college, Gyan Ganga Group. The Gyan Ganga Group is having its own gateway or firewall. From that firewall, a secured data will be sent across to the XYZ solution company, and this company will in return analyze and send back the data to you. Okay, so sending will follow this complete cycle, but the gateway present here is the API gateway now. Now, earlier it used to be like, so we have two key role to play here is in gateway there are two uh, main thing, which is NLP and ALP. So NLP stands for Network Load Balancers, and ALP stands for Application Load Balancers. So in this gateway, there will be two key players which are the load balancers. So I am just taking example for one IC room, which is giving me data for 20 patients. Okay, but they for a centralized unit or for company like XYZ Solution Private Limited, there would be multiple customers or there would be multiple rooms from the same hospital which they want to track. Okay, so the incoming traffic from this particular gateway needs to be balanced. So the network load balancer will balance the network level or the data coming from the sensors. Okay, because there is not one single sensor, there are many multiple sensors. So at the same time, if the data is being fed into the system, that needs to be organized. The data needs to be organized. So that organized data will be like the organization or the data, like what we call in database we have data redundancy, right? So here the data needs to be like transferred, or it should be um, fed in a systematic manner to the gateway. So that part will be taken care by NLP. After NLP, it will be channelized to multiple application load balancers. For example, if it is the data is related to heart rate, it will be sent to the application which will be monitoring the heart rate. For example, if you want to get the data on oxygen levels, so there would be an sub application which will be helping you analyzing the data for oxygen levels or the data from oximeters. So application load balancers are redirecting you to the individual applications or the individual uh, APIs. Okay, so API is the it's basically an agent. It's helping you forwarding or dividing your request to different parts. Okay, so what edge compute is doing is that it is calculating, it is computing, it is analyzing. Okay, so this entire uh, cycle which I explained is the analysis part is done in this edge compute. Okay, edge compute is say computation or the calculation or the analysis of whatever data you are feeding. Next part will be cloud data store. Okay, so cloud data store is whatever data has been fed, the data which is fed to the system and data which has been analyzed by the application or smart AI applications. This is being stored in your cloud data store or the database, simply database, right? From this database, it will be going to the AI layer or the artificial intelligence layer where you have you have set the model or where you have trained the model. If if this is the range, then act in this. If this is the range, if the oxygen level has dropped below 70 or below 80, then trigger an alarm. Okay, so there comes the alerts. Okay, you have set the field. Okay, now you are the for the analyzed data, you are taking the you are triggering the alarms or you are triggering the alerts and you are taking the actions. Okay, so for this particular data, say the oxygen level has reached below 70. Okay, so when once you get continuous data, say now if it is 620 and for say between 620 to 621 within 60 seconds you are getting 60 inputs that the oxygen level has dropped bit below 70 mark. The alarm should be triggered or the alert should be triggered to the person which is responsible to take the action, and then the action will be taken. So now see, this is not an automated action here because we are working on the healthcare domain. If it would be any other application, say if you are saying that my server is full, my server's CPU is running 100% or my device storage is full, then there can be a script which will help you to do the cleanup activity or restart your server or restart your system, right? But this is not the case in for your the treatment or medical facilities. So this is one of the flow which will help you understand the with the example like for the ICU system. So I have taken one more example which is a generic example for the smart city. The devices can be from the car, from the truck, or from the patient's mobile, or from the doctor's input, or from the hospital machines. These are now connected with the internet over the like it may be from your optical fiber or internet over the fiber cables or from the Wi-Fi or from the satellite communication channels or the satellite communications normally normal public is not using. It's only used by government officials or the agencies which are directly connected like ISRO or the any other government agencies, right? Now these data, so IoT is all about connected devices, right? If you are connected centrally to one of the application, if you are using any weather app, so weather app will be giving you live data of like at 6 a.m. there would be cloudy, or at 12 noon the sun will be at full at its full peak, the temperature would be so and so, right? So IoT is all about connected devices. So these devices, for our example, smart cities will have not only this, like you may have multiple devices which will be giving you the data over the internet, and internet may be over these three particular channels. This will be feeding data to your uh, the computing device or the server or the application. Okay, and how you will be giving the data through REST API, MQTT, or COAP, or there may be any other custom mode. So what majorly we are using is APIs, REST APIs. Okay, and this again will be analyzed, computed, and the engines will be analyzing and feeding the data, and it will be storing in database. This is again pushed to application. If you want to view your data, so you have the in your application, mobile application, you are able to see how many steps you have walked today. Okay, or in last 7 days, what was the average steps you have walked in last 7 days. So this is the data which is being pushed into your smart applications, and based on whatever data is being fed, they will be analyzed and presented in form of pie charts, in graph, or any other form which you need to view. Okay, so this is application layer. Application layer, computing layer, and the input layer. So I just move to the next part, which is smart cities and connected health, which we have already covered here, but um, now there needs to be an automated system. So there are algorithms which have been introduced to automate and integrate the devices into the centralized system. Okay, uh, um, integration of healthcare devices by the help of IoT device into the smart city infrastructure. So a smart city infrastructure also includes your roads, includes your signals, it includes your vehicles, or it includes your response teams. Okay, and it also includes the amount of the larger group of people which are primarily responsible for the action. Say it may be police, it may be medical team, it may be say army officials, or any other people who are the first responders, or say fire team, like the fire brigade team, which are the primary responders to any of the events. So I just included this slide to make you understand that whatever we data we are feeding, okay, whatever data we are feeding is the primary part. It will play the primary role, it will play primary part in analyzing the data throughout this life cycle. You may use smart devices, or you may not use data. If it is fed correctly, you will be getting the correct output. So it's not important that device which you are using may be giving you exact accurate data. Okay, but to certain extent there is like 91 or 92% uh, possibility are that these data is 91% or 92% accurate. Like what we have, what we say it like this is 24 karat gold, right? Or this is 22 karat gold. So same way, when we consider our data, so there is an accuracy parameter to be considered. And among this three part, algorithm, integration, and then linking. Okay, so algorithm may be anything, but algorithm will work on whatever data has been fed to the system. Okay, now if I talk broadly about Jabalpur smart city initiatives, so there have been various actions taken by the not only the local administrative bodies, but also from the state government and union government, to build a smart linking system between the hospitals or between the medical facilities, where they are sharing the data based on availability of beds, based on the current patients admitted on that day, or the current like patients discharged on that day, okay, or the live like the patients which were admitted due to accident or due to critical illness or like XYZ. So entire data is being now integrated and it is sent on daily basis. Okay. Now we'll jump to the next part of our session, which is understanding the agentic AI, and this understanding will help you building your own AI agent in coming future. Okay, so understanding agentic AI, the next leap in intelligent system. As you all know, agentic AI is used to do repetitive tasks. It is not used to generate a new set of data or new set of, if for example, if you are transforming any image, or if you are transforming, if you're generating any written content, or if you are generating any of the like say example or a table, or if you're using any of the Microsoft apps and you're using it to generate certain output. So that is not the task of agent. It is a random task, or it is subjective task which is very descriptive and which is very specific to certain output which we are required, which we need. Okay, so the task which agentic AI will take care is the repetitive task, which for the like for example, I gave you booking a ticket. Okay, so when it comes to monitoring this big setup, so if you say like these range in which Jabalpur smart cities spread across is say 32 kilometers of the range of the city range. Okay, I'm just giving example. Let's say it is 32 kilometer circle, okay, square meters. Then for that particular area, or for that particular circle, there are, I'll give you example, say one like 1 lakh devices, 1 lakh smart devices which are actively feeding the data. So to manage such a huge number of requests or such huge number of uh, input, okay, which are feeding you the data, so there must be an agent, there must be a balancer which will help you to regularize, to help you to fasten the data, and it will give you the output in a certain way which you want. So agent will help you doing that. So the conversion around AI has evolved from models that generate content to system that can think, plan, and act. Okay, so the reason I am talking about, say, if I am giving you example in Jabalpur, if there are 1 lakh users or 1 lakh subscriber for any, say, Geo or Airtel, okay, so if for all those 1 lakh subscribers or users, uh, it's not possible, or it's not um, uh, correct to say that all of them will be using the system at the same time. So many of them might be sleeping, many of them might not be using the system, many of them might be using actively for certain hours on or in a certain time range. Okay, so for models, it is important to know like what is the peak hour, what is the peak time of usage. Okay, what is the peak time where maximum request will be incoming, or where maximum requests will be sent to the system. Okay, so it will have to think, it will have to analyze, okay, and then it will have to plan. So if I take example of cloud, okay, so cloud systems are dynamic. basis on the request, basis on the traffic, the applications scale up and scale down accordingly. Okay, and then they're acting. Okay, this is the action. So when you have peak traffic, the application pods or the application servers will scale up automatically. They will divide the traffic equally, and they will load balance the traffic equally, and then they will again scale down basis on the number of requests if it is coming down to certain level. So this is what agentic AI is here to help us based on whatever analytics, based on whatever data which we are feeding it. It will help you enable taking the set of actions which are known. Okay, if there is any new action, if there is any other analytical thought process required at that particular point of time, so it will act, but it will act within the the predicted answers which you have already given to the system. So it will not take any new action, but nowadays what we are giving is we are also giving the trained data, the whatever output trained data is giving us, we are feeding that same data again back to this system. So it is also analyzing that data, which like the answers of that data are also getting analyzed, and the system is getting more smarter. So so metadata is getting pushed into the system. Okay, so this is what point one is having. Like the gist of point one is this. The second thing is this shift marks the rise of agentic AI, where systems go beyond generating outputs to autonomously plan, act, and complete the task end to end. So what I told you was, Pinkle, I'll just finish this and I'll come to you, okay? Uh, the shift marks the rise of agentic AI. So agentic AI is now on rise because it will help you doing many of the repetitive tasks, okay? Where system go beyond generating outputs to autonomously plan, act, and complete. So there shouldn't be need of any third party interference which will ask system to take this action or do this or do that. Okay, so if you are using any chat, if you are using any application, you will be having the chatbot there. So for if you say hi, it will say hi, and it will give you list of options uh, that it can assist you with. Say if you want to reset password, if you want to see what are the say if you are booking a ticket, so you'll have that era chatbot, and it will help you assisting on the set of questions like what we called frequently asked questions or FAQs. So there are chatbots created which will help you in solving the repetitive questions. So that is nothing but the agent or agentic AI which is in place, which is helping the customer care or customer support team to resolve. So they come across like many repetitive calls, and they are answering the same set of questions. So they have set an agent, or they have asked or they have set an chatbot which will help them to utilize that part of time which they would answer to these repetitive calls, and they will use that part of time to enhance or enhance their operational efficiency. Okay, so Pinkle, you were asking some question. I'll take the questions after completing everything. Is it okay, or like if you want, I can answer it. Pinkle raised hands for something. Or may I continue, ma'am, if you can ask? Okay, I'll take it in the later part. Uh, Coming to the SRE DevOps alignment, which is my strength or which is my field. So I'm giving you example of all the set of data which considering if I am an application manager, if I am an application owner, or if I am an operational team lead. Okay, so if I want to serve a client which is giving me this kind of data, which is real time, which is dynamic, and which is very critical, and the response to any of the data, it's very critical, and it is immediate action is needed. So for that, MTTR should be the lowest as possible, because MTTR is mean time to resolve. MTTR means mean time to resolve any problem. So MTTR for any critical monitoring system is very important to be low as possible, lowest as possible. Okay, so we need an intelligent alerting mechanism to keep this MTTR lowest. So there are service level agreements um, between client and service providers, which they agree upon, and based on that, they are charging the uh, customers, or the, like, if I am a service provider, so I will be abiding by the service level agreement with, like, if the criticality is high, if it is severity 1, then I need to respond, or I need to bring up the system um, within one, like, half an hour, 30 minutes. And criticality will vary, and the severity will vary, and then there will be response time accordingly. So MTTR is that. Auto remediation playbooks. Uh, Auto remediation playbooks, as I told, there are set of FAQs. You will be having a set of answers for those FAQs, and then there is a playbook. Playbook is like, uh, for every game there are set of rules. So for every question, for every known question, there is a known answer, so they will be remediated, they will be answered by those playbooks or those rules. Okay, rule book. And the third part is observability dashboard, logs, and metrics. So whatever data I'm getting it represented in the form of graph, in the charts, or in the tables, whatever way I want it to get represented, and I am monitoring that data to take the certain action. So when I talk about SRE perspective or DevOps perspective, uh, if I am enhancing the capabilities of my application through my application code, or enhanced functionality, enhanced view, or enhanced UI, okay, I am deploying it, and I am following the entire life cycle, okay, without the downtime of the application, without the without affecting the functionality of application. So application should be running at the same time I have to enhance the capability of the application. So I should have a low downtime. I should have like, if I should have inform everyone that the maintenance schedule of my application is so and so, or whatever device, or whatever set of people are using my application might face a little difficulty, or might face challenges while using the application between this tenure. So all these 3 points inculcates all the life cycle which we need to follow for an application perspective, right? Like, maintenance schedule is there. There would be a maintenance schedule. There will be um, uh, like deployment schedule, and there will be also like total downtime, okay, just in case. But now what we have pipelines, and we have the pods. So we don't need any downtime nowadays. So in runtime only your application is getting a new version. So this is an MTTR comparison before and after using the agentic AI. So earlier traditional operations team used to have, say example, this is like I'm just giving you example, okay? So earlier they used to take about 15 to 20 minutes of their time to respond, to analyze, and to bring the application to normal as it was earlier. But with introduction of agentic AI, the application analysis, the data monitoring, and the alert mechanism has become faster, and the action taken has the time taken to like bring back the application to normal has reduced. So it has reduced to almost 40%. So it is now between 5 to 10 minutes. It may be 7 to 7.5 minutes now. So this is as an example, because of introduction of agentic AI, like this mean time for resolution has reduced. And for critical applications like hospital industry, or where the like in production units where the medicines are manufactured, their belts, if there is a issue in the belt, conveyor belts which are used in line of production, so there might be a very big uh, you know um, um, the financial loss for that particular organization or manufacturer. So mean time to resolve is, or it should be the lowest as possible. So agentic AI is helping you there. I'm just quickly, I think we are left with only 13 minutes. So I'll just quickly give you the introduction to the tools which we are using nowadays. So CI/CD pipeline for like infrastructure as a code. The validations are done based on like we are using GitHub or GitLab to push our code through the automation system, or you can use GitHub Copilot, or you can use GitLab, whatever tool you want to use, you can use to push your code. Then the code validation, and then the code will be pushed to an archive. So JFrog or Artifactory, whatever Artifactory tool you want to use, you can use it there. It will again be pushed to pipeline tools. Pipeline tools are used to build and deploy the application. So it will CI and CD stands for continuous integration and continuous deployment. So there are Jenkins, there are Electric Flow, CloudBees pipeline, which are certain applications which will help you to deploy the application in runtime, like without giving you the downtime. Okay. Chat GPT, as you all know, it's a very common tool for like you can now everyone is purchasing the LLM, or the version which like there is a dictionary, or the data dictionary is there, and LLMs are there which they will purchase, and then you can create your own chat GPT bot, or you can create your own version of chat GPT, and you can use it for knowledge management and automation. So you can feed the data, and you can so there are certain restrictions in all the organization that they cannot feed, they cannot expose their data to internet. So they have their own version of chat GPTs. Jenkins and machine learning models are used for predictive pipeline optimization. So if I talk about pipeline is having entire life cycle where you deploy your code. That life cycle needs, so that can be covered in a different session altogether. I'm not sure if this part of the slide is like friendly with everyone or not, but these are the broader level and applications of your uh, like automated system which is used for observability. Like the tools which are used for monitoring are like Splunk, there are Isinga, there is Introscope, and there are many other tools like you might have came across Grafana. Okay, so there are many other tools available in the market which we can utilize for viewing and optimizing all our responses. This is an very broad diagram which will help you understand that where we stand. So in AI and machine learning, there are language models, okay, which you can use for knowledge representation, perception, action, data modeling, data model evaluation, model optimization, supervised and unsupervised learning, reinforced learning. Okay, these are the types of this is the inner circle. Then comes your RNN, LLMs, okay, convolutional neural networks, transfer learning. Deep neural networks are having these like transformers, okay. Then you have generators. So based on these inner two circles, you can generate the codes for your application. You can generate the speech from like you have text to like speech to text transformation, video generation, image generation, and whatnot, like model generation, okay, tool which are used for engineering purpose or prompting, okay. That then next come agents, AI agents, which are used for task scheduling, collaboration, okay, coordination and communication, context management, human in the loop oversight. Oversight is where we are standing is this monitoring part, observability part is what we are standing here. Okay, self-reflection, error recovery, whatever action we are taking, autonomous execution, if you are allowing the system to take action on its own. Okay, then comes your agentic AI, which is giving you all the sets, which is self-healing agent. Like if your system is crashed, if your memory has like if you don't have 100% memory left on your system, it will clean up basis on your past cleanup activity. Okay, memory and governance, retention, observability and tracing. So whatever data which we are giving into the logs, it will track that log and give you data. Like suppose if you have a authentication error, so it will give you HTTP 401. Okay, suppose if you have the backend server is not responding, if it may give you 404 or it may give you 503 based on the situation. Okay, so these are the error codes example which the agent will analyze and take action. So agent will only take action if you are allowing it an autonomous execution, because you should give it 100% control, 100% authority to take that action. So this is at the broader level how to explain anyone about the agentic AI. So agentic AI is above all these three layers, four layers of AI, machine learning, deep neural, and generative AI, and then AI agents. So agentic AI is above all these layers. I'll come to next, which is the foundation for your AI and machine learning. So you must know about supervised reinforcement learning, neural networks, NLPs, okay, and then evolution techniques that will enable systems to learn the patterns, understand language, and make the predictions. I'll shorten up this because we have left time. The time is very less, and I'll jump to the question and answers after that. So this is deep neural network, which is responsible for scaling the intelligence. CNN, RNN, and LLMs, which we have already seen in the diagram. So these are based on pre-training data and models. The way they approach the action is based on the training which we have given or which we have fed the data about. So their ability to handle the unstructured data, it may be text, image, or audio, and it will generalize the data and it will do the task effectively if it gets the structured data. So that part is taken care by like what we see in the Python. We have
Tarun sir, your voice is not audible. Tarun sir, your
Then
voice is not audible. Hello. Tarun sir, your voice is not audible. Hello.
now it's okay, sir. No, it's not audible. Tarun sir, आपकी आवाज, your voice is not audible. Sir, you are not audible. Excuse me, sir. Tarun sir, your voice is not audible.
hey, is it audible now?
Yes, yes, it is audible. Sir,
Hello.
sir, you are not
Uh,
audible.
1 minute. My screen was disconnected, so I just reshared, and my mic also enabled now.
Now it's
So
okay.
okay, thank you. Okay, so I have jumped to a new slide. I was here.
Hello.
I was explaining about the applications of agentic AI. Now, I'll just quickly jump to the demo which I have prepared for the usage of AI, agentic AI. Okay, so I am just explaining you the data. If heart rate, so this is an example for an IC unit where we are monitoring the heart rate, temperature, and blood pressure of any patient, a random patient. Okay, and I have named that it as patient one. Okay, if heart rate is between 120 and 90, and oxygen is less than it's in the range of 120 and 90, so we have to
send a red alert that the oxygen level and heart rate has dropped to so and so level. Temperature is feed that what we are feeding is in degrees Celsius. Okay, it's important to like let the system know what are the metrics, if it is unit metrics or it is imperial, whatever metric we are following. Okay, so this is 38.5 degrees Celsius. Upsurge fever warning needs to be triggered. Like if you are using Fahrenheit, so the temperature should be maintained 98.4 or below 98.4. So that is the range of triggering the alarm for that patient is having fever. Blood pressure should be like in the range 150 or 110, the based on male, female, and lower point and higher point. So critical elevated pressure should be triggered like if it is 150 or 110. So ideal is I think 120 is to 80. High blood pressure is too low. So this is the action which agent is taking: notify doctor, push emergency priority, and route to hospital dashboard. So I am just uh, moving it to a demo. Okay. So this is the demo. I have created a Python code which is helping me to analyze a data. This is a dynamic data which is I am having it in form of Excel or CSV format. You may use different formats for your sample data. So I have a data sample data for a say patient one. He is having heart rate. This is the heart rate. This is the timestamp. So if I'm monitoring it for 1 minute, okay, 1 minute is the 12:00 to 12:01. Okay, 12:01 is 1 minute time interval. Temperature he was having is this. Okay, O2 is oxygen parameter 97, 92, 91, 82, 78. BP is blood pressure, okay, blood sugar, and this is again blood pressure, which needs to be in the low blood pressure and high blood pressure. So this is the parameters which we have given to the system. And remember, this data should be dynamic because when I'm running a live application, so this data will be continuously increasing, and it will be continuously feeding the data for this timestamp. So it will continuously adding the rows. Okay. So now I'm running the application, which is the agentic AI demo application is the name. Okay. Now this will run since I am using Windows. So this will be opening a command prompt. And as you can see, if I can maximize this, if it is visible to you, these are the logs which is being pushed to your uh, log directory. Okay. Log file to be exact. And now I'm opening it with the notepad file. This is the alert log which I have got generated. So time 12, uh, it was time is between these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 timestamp are there. And you see this is, there are three levels of logs. One is info level. So information log, one is error log, one is warning log, and this is the critical. So you have set the parameter critical. Okay. So warning is when the heart beat or the oxygen level reached to below 78, or 78 was the data, right? And then you see critical. So after the parameter reached say a certain level, so you got the critical warning here. Okay. And now you see the dashboard. If you see the dashboard, you will see this is an HTML. This is just an example demo, so I am not having any UI. I have not made any kind of UI like enhanced version of that. This is a basic version just for the purpose of demo. Okay. So this is heart rate, blood pressure, O2 temp. So this is the dashboard which will come onto the TV screen of the person, say nurse or doctor who is monitoring. So instead of that, now they have enhanced the capability to monitor it over the mobile application or the phone. Okay, so this will be the data for any specific patient. Now, if I would have enhanced this application, so I would have name of the bed, I would have name of the patient, I would have name of the hospital, and the last when he was admitted and what is his current condition. So I would have all that data here itself, but just for the sake of demo, I have not included all those stuff. I am just giving you the basic data which we are fetching it from this live Excel sheet. Okay, so this might change dynamically based on your application. So this is the example. So reason and action. Why? What was the reason? Why was the action triggered? Notify doctor. Immediate escalate to the queue and route the nearest ambulance. So this is what we are feeding. With the action is what we want to take. It will not take any action uh, like in real, but it will just trigger the alarm. It will just notify, since we are in like the live environment, or we are in the we are not taking any action which may affect the person's life. Okay, so it's more about monitoring, it's more about faster response, it's more about sending alarm point. Okay, so this is the small demo for you guys. I'll jump back to this PPT. uh, Ma'am, if we have time, I can take 5 more minutes to complete this. Like one or two more slides are there. Okay. Ma'am, do we have time, or like I can wrap it up?
Hello.
Yes,
Uh,
ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You may continue for 5 minutes. Okay, sir. It's okay.
Okay. Yeah. So,
Good evening, sir.
I,
Sir,
I,
actually, I am having some doubts, sir.
okay. Yeah, please tell. Please go ahead.
And, sir, I am Pinkaljan from Ganga College of Technology, Jabalpur.
Yes.
Sir, according to me, genetic AI is not suitable or could be risky to use in the sensitive domains like finance or healthcare. So, what
Mhm.
is your opinion, sir?
Yeah, in my opinion, also, like I have repetitively said, like we are not allowing it to take any action. Like I just gave you examples of agentic AI from the perspective of any application, okay, like which is used to monitor severe or critical data. So we are not allowing it to take any action which may affect person's life, or which may affect any like critical condition. Okay, which may it may help you improvise that. It may help you enabling like faster response. It may help you sending the alarms to the doctor or to the nurse. So we are not actually asking that application to take any action. Okay, so in my opinion also, until and unless these systems are foolproof, the because situations are very dynamic, and which because situations are not like for every patient it may vary, it may not be, it may not follow any kind of rule. It may be very specific to the condition the patient is having. So this is, there are no set of rules which will govern your application. Okay, but for the basic parameter, for basic health monitoring, for the monitoring critical parameters, say blood pressure or oxygen level or any other like heartbeat. Okay, so we can use that, we can enhance our capabilities to send alarm point and trigger it, so that immediately doctors can take any action. So for medical science, there are many other applications, but I am just giving an example. Like I am very like focused on a small example, but there are wide usage of these like agentic AI in medical sciences. So, in my opinion, until and unless you're very sure the system is foolproof and you can rely on the systems, then like we should opt for monitoring purpose. Yes, definitely we should opt these systems for monitoring, but we should be very careful while we use such systems until and unless they are tested or they are foolproof. So that is my opinion.
And sir, what about financial transactions
Uh, f-
for
so
trading?
financial transactions are involved. So if you're considering this hospital or how are you considering this example, or in general, like banking system
In
or
general,
any
sir.
other?
In general, banking system, sir.
Okay, so in banking transactions, the like very few or very less banks have introduced the AI agents for the real-time transaction. They haven't introduced any AI because these are very legacy systems. They don't, if AI has been introduced, if AI has been introduced in 2020, they might be implementing it in 2030 because they want the system to be very foolproof. They want it to be redundant, and they don't want any kind of mess created in any of the financial ecosystem. So because it may create very big like financial loss, or it may create very big financial trouble for any, like if a customer loss is there for any of the bank or any of the financial entity, it's a big loss for entire organization, or entire ecosystem gets affected. So even if I am working in a company which is dealing with the financial, like I am in a fintech, so we are now enabling ourselves to use AI only on, like we are having a certain limit, we are having a line, we don't cross that line to do it on the real time transaction. We are only using for monitoring, we are using it for operational efficiency, we are using it to reduce the downtime, we are using it to enhance the observability capabilities and all other stuff, but not the real time transaction, because real time transaction is one or zero. Like what we have in our database, it will either get like transferred or it will be reverted back. So that those systems are still the same. I can talk about my organization, but I cannot talk about any other organization. So like those systems
Got
are
it, sir.
still
Got
the
it.
same. These are legacy systems. So until and unless these gets foolproof, we don't use. So for all the repetitive things, we can do it. Yeah.
Sir,
So
one more question.
yeah.
Sir, in agentic AI, there may be some privacy or security risks or security issues also.
Yes,
Especially
yes.
agentic AI uses call self APIs.
Yes, yes, yes. So as I told you, like if you are feeding like written data, if you want action driven event to be taken care by agentic AI, you have to give entire authority to the agent. Suppose if you are giving your own credentials, if I talk about IRCTC, you have to feed an entire credential to get your ticket booked. Okay, so that is a risky factor considering like if you are not using a very trusted version of the agent, or if you're not using any, you cannot even trust Google. It may be sharing your data somewhere because like considering the
Sir,
safety and security,
Arun
this
sir,
is
your screen is not moving, sir. Your
yeah,
screen is
yeah,
not moving, sir.
I have just froze it. Yeah,
Okay,
it's
sir.
in, yeah, yeah, it's in the same slide. Why this matter? I was about to complete this, but
Okay,
we
okay,
took
sir.
like questions. Yeah.
Please, please, sir, please.
Okay. So I'll just move it with this. I'll complete this in 2-3 minutes. Okay. Why does it matter? Because agentic AI isn't just a technical upgrade, it's redefining how we are getting our work done. Okay, so we need to in all our software development life cycle, we need to understand the goals of our software. We need to plan it. We need to have a action driven approach. We should know the set of actions. We should learn from the results, whatever results which we are getting from the data sets. We have to again feed back into the system. We have to take the feedback. Okay, and from that feedback again you have to have new learnings and enhance your capability. Okay, and the last thing is collaborate with humans and other agents. So to the questions which we asked, so there should be a human intervention. There should be a uh, like people monitoring the systems which are automated systems which are running now. So there is a paradigm shift. There is still the chance, there is still the scope we can enhance the system's capabilities so that it becomes foolproof. Okay. Uh, I'll skip these slides because we have already discussed it. Uh, this is the um data from for which I have like the data I have used, or the sources from where I have used the data. And last is we have already covered this, but somehow we have already discussed the case study and everything. So I'll only talk about the future vision, which is smart teleconsultation booth, predictive pandemic forecasting, and autonomous hospital operations via agentic AI. So these are the challenges like what we faced in pandemic. So to overcome those challenges, there should be smart like now we are using certain apps like Practo for teleconsultations and other stuff. You should know that India, on an average, India has like nine, like if I say 92 doctors are there for 1,000 people in India. So in US and UK it is very less. It is say 9 doctors per 1,000 people. So they have very medical facilities. They do have good facilities, but the doctors or the number of doctors which they have is very less. So they rely on this teleconsultation or telephonic appointment. So in India also we do have this teleconsultation approach, but most of you will prefer going in person. So this is one. Predictive pandemic forecasting is one of the thing which like is like in 1970s or in 1900s there were polio, or there were other pandemic spread across. Now in 2000s we had this COVID. So there should be a predictive system which will be forecasting you, say tsunami forecast. Now it's very active across Japan and other like Southeast Asian countries. Okay, and autonomous hospital operations are some of the operations can be done without any fail, like the inventory management, where you have inventory of bottle or the salines or the whatever injections, whatever devices or whatever things they are using, whatever medicines they are using. So they have inventory, and they that should be real time. That they should inventory manager should know that this is the hours and this is the current stock. So that's it, guys. If anything you want to ask, you may ask. Uh, I'll just give you like 2-3 more minutes to think and ask. Meanwhile, I'll just answer like a call. Yeah, someone is asking.
Thank you so much, sir. It is a very informative session and yeah, the detailed explanation. I request to Dr. Vimmi Pandey, madam, please conclude the session.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Javed sir. On behalf of the Atal FDP and organizing team, I thank to Engineer Tarun Jain sir, for delivering very informative session on bridging technology and humanity through AI-driven smart healthcare. We sincerely thank you for your time, your valuable insights brought to today's session. Your contribution has been immensely valuable to our FDP. Thank you once again, sir.
Thank you, everyone. Yeah.
Now, within a couple of minutes, we will start the session number 2.
हाँ कर रही हूँ.
हाँ, Rasool sir, hello, hello. My voice is audible to everyone?
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, yes, sir, yes, sir. Now, sir,
Uh,
we will start
Good
the
evening,
session, sir.
sir.
I will introduce, sir.
Okay.
Uh, so it's my pleasure to introduce our distinguished resource person for this technical session. This is session number 10, Dr. Akhtar Rasool, sir, and a very good academician, researcher, and the expert in the domain of artificial intelligence, data science, quantum computing, big data analytics, as well as the high performance computing. Dr. Rasool is currently surveying as a associate professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering at Maulana Azad National Institute of Technology, that is Manet, Bhopal. His journey includes the rich industry experience as a software engineer at Impact Infotech Private Limited. Dr. Rasool Dr. Rasool
Hello.
has taught a core and emerging subjects such as software engineering, artificial intelligence, data structure, big data technology, quantum computing, and high performing computing. Dr. Rasool has supervised several PhD scholars in the cutting edge area, including the crime pattern prediction, quantum based pattern matching algorithm, missing data imputation, time series, change point declaration, medical image segmentation as well. He has a very impressive publications record, and the various numerous paper is published in SCI, Scopus, Web of Science, IEEE, and the Dr. Rasool is published patent also, a smart agriculture system and the method of integrated with the Internet of Things device. Today, we are privileged to him with us to share his deep insight and the research wisdom in the technical session for our Atal FDP that is organized by Gyan Ganga College of Technology with the support of AICT. Dear all participants, please join me in a welcome our esteemed resource person, Dr. Akhtar Rasool. I request to sir, please start your session.
Hello. Good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Akhtar Rasool, as my introduction is already done. Uh, this session is about to introduce the importance of research methodology in the field of healthcare and the various tools of the basic various tools of the research methodology used in the field of the healthcare. Although healthcare is not my very much field of working, but my uh, one of the scholar is already done PhD in the field of this field in the field of healthcare. So My screen is visible to all?
Yes,
Yes,
sir. It's
yes, sir,
Yes,
very
it's
sir.
clear.
visible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. So, research methodology is a important subject in the field of research. First, you have to understand what is the research methodology and how you apply these research methodology tools in the field of research, in the field of healthcare. Healthcare is a prime field. You can say the prime field nowadays, and Government of India having provided important mission to speed up the research in the field of healthcare. So it's a government mission goal to work in the field of healthcare and in the field of AI. So AI is one of the important part to establish the research in the field of healthcare. First of all, my presentation and my lecture is containing what first I'm declaring about what is research methodology, and then we discuss the some of the important tools of the research methodology, and we discuss some of the important point of RM, research methodology in healthcare. So, what is research methodology? Research methodology is a systematic process of conducting research and that provides a structured framework for the investigation.
Sir,
Uh,
sir,
yes,
sorry to interrupt you. Sir, is it possible? Could you switch on your camera?
yeah. Actually,
Yes.
my speed and internet speed is slow. That's why I'm stopping them.
Okay, okay. No
I'll
problem,
just,
sir.
I,
Before, sir,
I'll
before.
just on,
Okay, sir.
I'll just join.
Okay, okay. Thank you, sir.
Is it
Okay, sir.
visible?
It is visible, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay. So how you perform the research, it is important. It is just like doing some course. When you are doing some course, there's a specifically in the course there is a syllabus, and syllabus contains the units, unit 1, unit 2, unit 3, and so on. And when you progress as per the unit, then you are able to understand the entire course properly. So, whenever you go for a learning program, teaching learning programs or doing research, there is a certain way to achieve the research, to achieve the objective of the research. Otherwise, what happened? You have collect the data, you have studied the data, you find out the insights, but you are not going to relate each and every insights to the exact relevant facts. That's why there is a procedure to conduct the research. And this procedure is called the research methodology. So it's explain how you're doing the research is done by step by step for conceptualizing the conclusions. So importantly, when you work doing the research through the research methodology, your results are accurate, reliable, and legal. So there is a formula, you can say the research formula to how you present your research and how you validate your research, how you make your research reliable and accurate, and how you publish your result. These all factors comes in the RM section. For example, why it is important? It is important. It's just like a simple way. Um, if you are wanted to ask a question, um, that which phone is better, Samsung or the iPhone, you go on the Google and searching that the blogs of which are associated with the Samsung phone and the blogs which are associated with the iPhone, and based on the blogs, you are concluding that which phone is better in your budget. So that's another kind of a research which is without a methodology. But in the field of engineering, in the field of healthcare, in the field of any important domains, we are not supposed to say that it's not so easy to find out the conclusion and declare that this conclusion is better and this conclusion is not better. For doing that, you need to provide a certain steps, and these steps are important, and these steps are sequential steps which leads to a proper mathematical justification of each and every conclusions. So these are the first. I'm just going to the comparison with and without the methodology. uh, some places are there where we are saying that we need a without methodology you can find the answer. But when you are working in the field of engineering, you need a proper steps. So process in the field with research and without methodology, and with methodology, if you're talking about the process, so with methodology, this is the systematic and step by step, whereas without methodology, unstructured and random scenarios are going to be taken. Planning, there is a proper plan. In the research methodology, there is no plan. Objectives are set at first, and based on the objectives, you have to perform the research in the fe- in through the RM methodology. Whereas there is only the understanding based research is done through without methodology. Objective, what is actually the objective is? Objectives, you can say easily, the objectives are the measurable terms. How you writing down the objective? Objective means have how to measure the thing. Study is not the objective. You have to write down the objective in a way that where some measurement tools are there, and through the measurement tool you can validate that this particular research is done or not, or in terms of comparison, in terms of matrix, some matrix terms, you have to write down the objectives. So in the in with the methodology, you have to, it is important that you have to write down the objectives first, and based on the objective you have to run your research. Data types, the data may be in with methodology, data may be the primary or secondary data, whereas in field without methodology, your opinions, online information, observation, any kinds of data you can use for finding out some of the conclusion, which no need to, you can say that, further justification. Sample selection is very important. There is a mathematical tool to collect the data, to collect the data or samples. Data collection is done through the survey, experiments, and interview test. Whereas in without methodology, you can find out the blogs, videos, informal sources, any informal sources you can take out for finding your research. Uh, uh, in terms of data analysis, some statistical and mathematical model justified and models are techniques are used to find out the insights from the data, whereas no deep analysis is required. Hypothesis in the field of RM, a hypothesis is mandatory, where in the without methodology not required it. Reliability is high, reliability is low without methodology. There is a proper documentation. Documentation is done only basically for the knowledge transfer purposes. When you, if you have a proper documentation, you can repeat your research. Anybody can repeat this research through performing through to read out these reports and papers. Summaries or notes are there in without methodology. And use case, if you're talking about the use case is project, thesis, PhD, and these are the use cases of with methodology. And some personal research and learning is there in the field of without methodology. So why research methodology matters? So these are some parameters. I mean, the parameter is that first parameter is accuracy. So when you are executing your research, you have to say that how accurate your result is, and how reliable is your result is, and how reliability means how your result is said to be a valid for a particular set of particular set of validation space, and it is a um, error free outcomes is there. Second is validity, how your result is valid, and finding these, there is a certain evidential proofs are there, so there are certain assumptions are there. Based on that, you have to validate your results. Next is consistency. So results can be repeated and verified by others. So result is said to be the consistent. Uh, Make research more organized. So every step of research becomes structured and clear. So that's why it is said to be a organized one. And the building trust. Readers, academics, academician communities, and other researchers can trust the findings. So that's why we go for doing the research through the research methodology. How this research methodology performs. So these are actually this is a life cycle steps of research methodology. So whenever you start doing research, it is important that you have to understand the problem first. So understand what is required. For example, if you're having a problem, so what this problem impact to the society? First, you have to identify that it is a problem or not, or how many solutions are there for the problems. If some solutions are there and the solutions are good solutions, then why you go performing your research on this topic? Means, for example, if you wanted to writing down a sorting algorithm, there are lots of sorting algorithms is there already given by so many researchers, and these algorithms are well proven algorithms. So you have to, instead of writing your new algorithm, you have to go for that already proven algorithm, because you no need to write down a new sorting algorithm until unless you have a data where you need to write down a very customized sorting algorithm. And these algorithms or these solutions, you can say that these solutions are not appropriate to solve your address your sorting problem, sorting your data in an appropriate manner. Then you go for your writing down your own algorithm. So first it is important that you have to identify the problems. If it is a problem, then you have to search what are the available solutions, and if there are solutions, and then how you are thinking about these solutions. Solutions are good for which kind of a data or which kind of a circumstances algorithm is going to be planned or writing down by the researchers. So you have to understand the entire scenario. If you are saying that the existing systems, existing algorithms are not address properly your problem, then you have to go for writing down the problem statement, that you need to write down a new algorithm which addresses these issue in a broader aspects. uh, for that, identifying the problems you have to do. After identifying the problems you need to write down a new solution. You go for a literature survey, and then doing the research on this topic, how many people's writing down the solutions, and what are the pros and cons of the different solutions, means the advantage and the disadvantage, or the limitations of the available solution. This is a broader study, and these literature review is a very important part of the research. If you do properly the literature survey, you are supposed to be a 80% completed your research, because you exactly know what you are going to write down, what things you need to address exactly, and with which solution, existing solution, you need to extend or modify, means which algorithm you need to modify, or which aspect you need to modify or extend. So after literature survey, you write down the objectives, what you have to do. So objectives is related somewhat the measurable terms, where you can say that this objective is going to be completed or not. If it is completed, what will be the result is there. So it is a hypothesis, and it's a measurable term, and or the proven term. So you cannot say that is a vague term, that so to study these things. Study is a vague term. You have to measure that. You can write down that you have to complete. Yeah, you have to write down an algorithm which addresses this issue. So this kind of a objective you need to write down. After writing the objectives, you have to complete the objective while you are writing down while you complete your research. After writing the objectives, you write the methodology. Methodology means how you achieve these objectives. Choose proper research plans, methods. After selecting the method, you go for a method of data collection. So data collection is a step where you can collect your own data, or you can create your own data. If you wanted to you wanted to perform the research for some organization, then you go there and collect the data which are already generated by the organization. So there are two types of data: primary data and the secondary data. So primary data is the data which generated by you, and the secondary data which the data generated by some other organization, or maybe the some other peoples, and that data you are using for your own research. But important part is that in the data collection process, uh, each and every data, if data is some already collected by some other people, each and every data is collected by the means of some specific objectives. So if you wanted to do your own very customized research, so you need to collect data by your own, because these data maybe sometimes not able to the secondary data or data collected by other people is not completely holding all kinds of information which is required in your research. So that time you need to go for uh, create a process of collecting your own data, and that data is more reliable, and that data is more customized data which are suited for your research. So data collection is an important part, because if you are not your data not having the proper characteristics to solve your problem, then you are not able to find the meaningful insight from the for your research. So data collection the important part. Second, after data collection, the data is you need some to pre-process data, make process data, and that data is directly used for the analysis purpose. To make it the pre-processed data, you have to clear some errors which are is already inside in the data. To remove that errors, missing values you have to remove. Sometimes you need a standardization, normalization of the data. So, and sometimes you need to reduce the data because you have a huge amount of data. So you need to reduce that data and make it some you have to create a new structure of data that called as a data reduction process. So that all steps is need to be performed, and after that you have to create the pre-processed data and then supply it to the next step, that is a data analysis process. And data analysis process having an analysis model, and that contains the methodology and actually it is a mathematics, it's a combination of the mathematics, computer science, AI, you can say, the computer science, mathematics, and the domain specific knowledge, and these all things make a data analysis model, and that model actually process the information and find the meaningful insights that called as conclusions. And conclusion you derived, it is comply the objective you are written in the initial stages. After getting the conclusions or the answers, you have to justify that answer, validate that answers, and after validating these your answers, then you have to writing down the proper reports or writing down the proper papers uh, which are containing all the steps of your research. So these are the important journey of the RM. So when you're talking about the data which are used in the research methodology, the first data is a quantitative data. Yeah. These are the some important categories. There are more categories apart from that also, which containing more detailed form of the data. But I'm just discussing some of the category. First is quantitative data, and quantitative data having two sections: discrete data, continuous data. Discrete data having the whole numbers, and these whole numbers are the integer numbers, and whereas the continuous data having some decimal values, and there are wide range of values are possible when you're writing down the quantitative data. So based on your characteristics of the information, these data is going to be used. There is another category, qualitative data, where you are need to be your data is a labeled data. So somewhat uh, there are many categories also, but there are I'm mentioning only two categories: nominal and ordinal. Where nominal data means there is no specific order in the data. For example, the gender is having only two data, male and female. There is no male and female having no mathematical value. So you cannot compare male and female in terms of some mathematics. So it is a non-numerical data actually. Uh, but when you start processing it, you can make it as a numerical value also. The religion part also, maybe color, red, blue, green, yellow. These are the color which are distinct possible values, but these values are not comparable. These are a distinct values, but these are not comparable in terms of some numerical aspect. uh, and there is no particular order. Qualitative data is the data where ordinal data where where we have a certain order in the nominal data. For example, uh, we get a medal in the Olympics. So there's a category of gold, silver, and bronze medal. So we definitely order that the gold is better than the silver is better than the bronze. But there is no numerical comparison exactly. But we know that there is a certain order where gold is better than the silver, and silver is better than the bronze. So there is a certain order of the data, but these data are not comparable in terms of numerical values. So to represent sometimes the characteristics or information, you need to use the nominal or ordinal qualitative data. When you are talking about the actual research data, data is divided into two parts: primary data and the secondary data. For example, primary data is called as the first hand data. First hand data means uh, you can say that the data which are generated by you. So for if you need to perform a very customized research, very specific research, and these research is not supposed to be done by any other people, then you need a specific kind of an information, and that information is not going to be collected by other people's, previously is not collected by other people's. So you need to establish a process, and through that process you have to collect the data, you have to generate the data. So for that you can perform interviews, you can perform the surveys, you can go for some observational data, means you need to capture the monitoring system data. For example, if you wanted to do the processing of video processing, you need to collect the data from the CCTV cameras. You have to collect the live data from some e-commerce website. So that data is going to be said to be the primary data. That data is collected by you. So that data is surely a more reliable data, a more suitable to your research data. And but this collection of data process is the difficult process and may contains errors. So you have to very precise, very correct to collect the data. So primary data is better than the secondary data. Secondary data means data collected by someone else, and you are using for your research. So that if we data is collected by some other organization, and you are collecting data from that organization, and then you start performing the research. So you that time you are not able to perform very customized research, but you can save the time. Importantly, the the primary data section is more appropriate for performing the very customized or very unique research, because each and every time you have to record the data according to your requirements. Okay, but the primary data is a costly process, and secondary data is relatively, you can say that the simple process, and you are not having a burden to collect the data. So, what are the outcomes of the research methodology? I'm just discussing the outcomes one by one. Uh, we have a clear problem definition. So clear problem definition means you understand that what you have to do, or what don't do and don'ts. You have to declare do and don'ts. है ना? Properly, you can say that we have to find out these things. We don't work on these things. So precisely when you performing the research, yeah, you avoid the confusions, and you have to set proper goals, proper direction. What you want. This is the important aspect of the research method, and otherwise you may get confused when you're performing the research, that what you want, and what you're looking for, and what you process the data. So it is a after you using the RM process, you have a clearer definition. Second outcome is systematic data collection. So if, you have a systematic process to collect the data, and when you're collecting the data, surely you go for organizing the data and removing the errors and removing ambiguities which are inside the data. And surely you are improving the quality of the data. So if you have a good quality data, then you have your research is a research outcome directly proportional to the quality of the data. So surely your result will be better. Then the third important outcome is scientific decision making. So you have each when you are using RM, so surely you go for a logical and analytical aspects to define or interpret the data. So you have a reasoning, and you have the reasoning means some A is, if A is there, then this is B. If A, then B. If B, then C. Somewhat you have to make it the logical things, and evidence based things are there, and conclusions are more accurate, and these conclusions may be used in the future also, or you can say that you can repeat these conclusion for the future research. So it is not like that you perform the research, and after when you someone else is coming for doing the research in the same field, he may get start from the initial stage to collect the data and process the data. If you are doing the research through the RM process, so you have to define the logics, and these logics may be used in the future also. There is more accurate and reliable outcomes are there. Understanding of the variables means the characteristics of the data. Means normally you can say the characteristics of data means the attributes of the data, and we can establish the cause and effect relationship uh, between the variables, and how the variables are associated with each other. And this is for that you may go for a correlate the variables. Then valid results. So if you're having a good quality data, your results is valid. So for that, for so data you are using, then you declare that these results is valid for these specific important aspects. So you define properly the objective based results. That is what these results for defining the valid results. Improving the critical thinking. So it improved the ability to analyze questions and interpret. And surely develop strong research and reasoning skills. Um, Next is somewhat your practical and theoretical aspects. Practical and theoretical aspects is defined as somewhat it provides the solutions um of the real world problems. So what real world problem is that, and what are the practical and theoretical solution for these research, and how you address this research to solve us any real world problem. That's why research is associated directly with the real world scenarios, and these research may be used for your um, wellness of the humankind. Contribution to the knowledge. Contribution means if you are having new insights, if you find out new meaningful informations from the data, then you are comparing with the old one, and then establish that these insights are better than the old one, and replaces the information or maybe modify the existing information for the upcoming researchers. Better decision making means this is the planned and sequence planned steps. So based on the planning, if you are working, you can improve you can improve your actions and outcomes, and you can generate better outcomes by performing your specific order of actions. So you performing the action in a specific planned manner, then you optimize your results. There are certain applications, important applications, where actually research methodology used in each and every field of the research. But I'm writing down some of the important uh, research methodology fields. First, it is working on the educations. So education means it is for improving the teaching and learning process. So teaching and learning process, for the it is performing the how you these research affect the online classes or online teaching on the student performance, how students learn these things. So, this is continuous process in the education field. Through the R and we are trying to improve the teaching and learning process and measure the learning outcomes properly. So, how many processes are used to improve the teaching learning, and what are the outcomes of the processes which are used for in the education field? The second is healthcare and medicine. This healthcare is for the treatment of the patients, and it is for improving the whole total, you can say, the total healthcare system. So improving the treatments, improving the patient's care, improving the facility provided by the hospital, reducing the cost of meditations, new meditation findings, or you can say each and every aspect of the healthcare sector, it is going to be used. uh, Next is business. So many businesses are used for any e-commerce business, any other businesses. These are used to improve their outcomes. For example, if there are two brands, a brand A and brand B, then how brand B is going to be improved to get more benefits over the brand A, or you improve their purchase over a brand A. So this is a comparison of business field where so many characteristics are there, and these characteristics are addressed and get the final outcomes. Social sciences. Social sciences is basically uh, used for improving the behavior of the human, and how this behavior is going to be improved. So for that, you have to uh, understand the behavioral sciences, and then after understanding the behavioral sciences and behavior of the person by taking the interviews and questionnaires, and then suggest some important um, methods to improve the society, and to improve the human behavior, and solve the social issues associated with this. Especially these are nowadays there are many researches done on the social media sites. So these are social media sites is research is basically to um, handle the impact of social media on youth. So these are the researches are done on social media. Science and technologies means these are the innovates new important hypotheses, new technologies, new algorithms. These are the purposes to work on the science and technology, and this is done through the experiments, simulations, and prototyping. And for example, this is for make a new solar panels which optimizes the solar energy and converted the solar energy into the electrical energy in a proper form. So this are somewhat a technology and science research where actually we are going to perform the research based on the real world problems. So if you're talking about the healthcare, so research methodology in healthcare refers to the systematic process used to study the diseases, so various diseases and treatment associated with the diseases, and the improving the patient behavior or understanding the patient behavior, improving the patient medical systems. So the medical system is going to be improved so that patients patient care is done more properly and patient feel better when it comes in the medical system, and the total overall health outcomes. So we are dividing the entire research in healthcare in some categories. So these categories are improving the patient care. So patient care means you have to discover best treatments or best practices so that the better care of the patient is there. And these are not identifying the new medicine, these are the treatment practices, how you're going to treat the entire patient while having the patient having some disease so that it is properly recovered. Some peoples may be depressed when they may get having a diseases and because of that depression they are not supposed to be come out properly, the outcome is not proper because of these depressions. So that's why the you have to improve the complete patient care and discover new treatment techniques, new procedures through which patient care is done properly. Second is evidence-based decisions. So evidence-based decisions means you have to find out new meditations and means you have to do some meditations and based that medicine what are the impacts of that medicine. In this category you have to identify the proper meditation or update the meditation for the purpose of to purpose of uh, heal the patient. So this is evidence-based decision means there are simply uh, the meditations and what are the impact of that meditation and how you improve that meditations, and these all things are associated with some mathematical formulas. These are not supposed to be assumptions that, and this is a rigorous evidence checking and rigorous data analysis process, and through that you can do these decision making. Sometimes early detection, another thing is that some diseases are you need to think about that early detection of these diseases are better than after the recovery process. So prevention is better than the when you going through these diseases and go for a recovery. So these type of diseases, for that you have to plan the research and understand the human body, performing the test, performing the awareness program, and so that based on these awareness programs, you may get reduce the overall risk associated with while handling this risk. For example, the government of India started a new projects in which in these projects a specific kind of test is and scans are there through which they are going to regular provide free medical checkups for ladies for checking out the breast cancers. And for that, each and every 6 months there are the camps which are freely freely perform the test to check out the symptoms and the status of the breast cancers in ladies. And after that, you may think that after performing these uh, programs, uh, programs, how you execute the program, this is a research procedure. You may get aware of the people about these cancer diseases which are very common, which are very common diseases, and these diseases can be prevented by taking the precautions. So this is not talking about how you talking about the medicines. It is not the medicines. It is somehow how you planned yourself to avoid this disease. It's a prevention mechanism. So prevention plan is there. This is actually checking out how you perform the test and how you take the precautions to avoid the risk of a particular disease. Safe and effective treatment ensure the medicine and therapies are tested properly, and these medicine having no side effects. Medicine, sometimes medicine is launched, but it may, after a few years, it is found that this medicine is not is having very very harming side effects, and these side effects, after that the medicine is going to be banned. So when you put a medicine in the regular use, and if you're performing some therapies, then you have to find out these what are the negative aspects of these medicines. So positive and negative aspect you have to check properly for existing medicines, and improving the performance of the medicines, and the policies, healthcare policies. So how you make it more healthcare to improve the overall system. So for that, uh, the research is done through the research guides of government, and the doctors and the hospitals staff, and main key staffs of the hospitals, and through that new policies are going to be established, and through that the overall healthcare system is going to be improved. So these are the four five important fields where research methodology is directly applicable. Now we are going to think about the types of healthcare research methodology. So first is a clinical research. So clinical research means directly talking about the medicines, treatments, and the medical equipments, the performance of the medical equipment used, and how you improve the performance of medical equipments. So these are the field where we're talking about the clinical research. The second is epidemiological research. So this research is talking about how you control the spread of the diseases. Some diseases you need to contain for a spread of. So it's a special sections where we are going to study about the how diseases are going to be spread over a humankind. So this is epidemiological research where different kinds of diseases is going to be studied. Second, a qualitative research. A qualitative is talking about the quality of the patients. And for that, how the patient, you are going to improve the understanding of the patients, how you improve the satisfaction level, how you improve the faith of the patient amongst the medical system. So if the patient having the faith, then definitely the patient may get better results. So how you improve the patient behavior, overall behavior and satisfaction and experience, and this is comes the qualitative research. In that case, we are not supposed to talk about the medicines. We are talk about the facility, and we are talking about the different therapies where we are going to be improve the patient experience. Next is quantitative research. So in the quantitative type research, uh, we have to talk about the statistics analysis of the patient data and outcomes. So sometimes what happened, the medicine, when you applying the medicine is not giving the proper answer. What are the proper impact? Means we have to check the overall impact of that medicine. So you have to create a proper sequence. You have to sequence and plan to find out the overall outcomes of the medicine. So you have to prepare test cases, and based on these test cases, you have to test the various peoples and then collect that data and observe that data, first the health of the patient, then collect the data, and then after collection of data you have to compile the data, and after that you have to, and specifically these are associated with the medical history of the patients, and based on these very rigorous statistical analysis, we have to find out the patient data and outcomes. So and we have to find out the meaningful insights about the medicines, about the systems. The experimental data is somewhat the you have to how you perform the testing on the control conditions. So some medicine is on experimental basis, some of the real use. So these are the some medicines may be used after so many experiments, they may get to the original use. So there is a how you perform the testing in the control environments. Then survey, how you collect the medical survey information. So, collecting the data through our questionnaires and the interviews, medical related information, these are the another kind of a research. These are some kind of thoughts of the thought of the people related research associated to the medical facilities. So, these are the different fields. Uh, these are some analysis reports I'm just going to share out. Uh, the key applications is in the field of healthcare is identifying disease patterns through machine learning algorithm. Actually, it is somewhat a use of the AI in the healthcare system, identifying the disease patterns through the medical through the machine learning algorithms. Uh, then the predicting patient readmission risks and complications, optimizing the source allocations, and the detecting meditation interactions and adverse events associated with specific meditation process. So these are the key applications areas where going to data analysis is performed, and we found out that some of the important reports, I'm just finding out the reports. The reports done by BMG Quality and Safety, London. In this reports, it said that this report said that the 30% reduction in the errors is coming up when you performing the predictive analysis of diagnostic form, means the when you 30% the errors uh, may be reduced. Sometimes sometimes the peoples may get wrongly diagnosed for a disease. For that, this is called the error in the diagnostic process. So 30% is going to be reduced till 2024. This is BMG report said that 25% cost is saving for hospital, the implementing these steps, data driven strategies for, and so that the overall operational cost is going to be reduced. uh, and the 15% of the better outcomes, improvement in patients outcomes through the personal treatment plans. These are the important outcomes saw about BMG quality safety reports and NIH precise medicine research reports. These reports says that these are the outcomes till 2024. Top tools which are going to be used for the healthcare. So, what are actually the tools? So, um research methodology tools are somewhat, you can say, the exact tools, techniques, maybe, I mean, you can say the techniques or methods or algorithms or software. These are said to be the tools of research methodology. Means how you perform this research methodology in healthcare. So for the data collection process in the medical field, because if any research data is important and important, or you can say that they play the key role in the research form. So for that, the primary tool is survey and questions. So for surveys and questionnaires means you have to perform the survey and you have to give the form to the user to fill to give the answer of a specific set of queries. It is just like a form. So you have to fill the form and submit to the peoples. And by seeing your form, the user can understand that what you are actually information you having filled in the form, that information is associated with you. So collection of these forms, and after that these forms are going to be compiled. So a specific set of question is going to be asked to patients, doctors or public, and then we get the answers, compile that answers, and store these answers in a specific structured data set. This is surveys and questionnaire. So how you perform these surveys and questionnaires, research methodology will give you idea about how you perform survey, how you perform the questionnaire. And when you perform survey and questionnaires, you may get sometimes you may get the wrong information. Some information you're not able to get the information because people are filling the forms. Sometimes people may left some of the field blank. So these are said to be the missing information. So you have to predict the missing information also, and based on that you have to prepare the structure set. So RM provide how to perform research and questionnaires. Second, interviews. So interviews is just like a questionnaire, but it is more precise. A questionnaire step, and this is a face-to-face uh, face to face. You have to interact with the people and collecting the data. Face to face, maybe on phone, maybe on online interviews. So in the interview, what is the difference between questionnaire and interview? Interview is that you can say that if you asking a question, if the recipient is not going to be understand your question, so you can tell that you want this the information, and you can guide the people, you do guide the patient or doctor or any of the any of the people which are giving the answers. So you guide them how to answer your queries. sometimes. So you may get a more precise answer. Means there is a guidance is there in the interview section. So it more precise collection. But if taking the interviews, this is one by one. It is a time-consuming process and very tedious process. Third one is observational tools. Observational tools means just like a ICU system where there are some machines are which are monitoring your blood pressure. Some machines are there which you are you which are some you are recording some of your brain signals and other important aspect of your health patient characteristics. So these are observational tools. Sometimes the patient is under observation in the CCTV cameras. So you have to check the behavior of the patients. So these are the observational tools. So in the observational tools, you may get more precise data, more correct data, and here we can identify the patterns and behavior and the responses of the treatments properly. Uh, this is very important tools where in the observational tool there is a no intervention of the human there is no intervention of the human so that it may get the more proper data. Some more tools are there which is called as medical record or somewhat EHR, electronic health records. So these are the when you're performing the test. So you get the health information about a person. You have to store these information, and after storing these information, you have to perform the analysis. And hospital systems may sometimes use these records for performing the specific set of research. Lab reports is the main ingredients of these EHR. Then the clinical trial research. Clinical trial research are the research which is done through the trials. Scientific tools are used and some scientific methods may be used. So you give drugs or treatments to the patients, and this is done in a specific controlled environment or in a specific controlled group of peoples. You have to perform the experiments and you see what are the outcomes are there. So uh, here this kind of tools, this kind of research is performed in very uh, secure place with very safety and security. And there are specific pointers are there, matrix are there, which are going to check each and every changes each and every changes done in this clinical trial. These are some RCTs, place boss, double blind trials. These are some groups, important groups, which are performing the clinical trials. So you may be you can be the member of these groups, and you can be the part of any clinical trial, and you may get in the observations, and after that the some result will be obtained through the experiment performed on you. So this is important clinical trial tools. Then diagnosis and laboratory tools. So medical test used to collect the healthcare related data, detect diseases, monitoring, and patient health, which supports the clinical research. Mainly, these are the MRI scan, CT scan, blood test, and ECG signals. Then statistical tools. There are software tools are there. These tools analyze the healthcare data and these talk about the statistics. So for this is for interpretation of finding the patterns and the testing the some specific kind of hypothesis. So in the statistical method part, these are the hypothetical testing, one of the part which are also leading to these research. What are the variances are there? Variances, ANOVA is there. So what are the variances in the various reports? The changes in the variances, and these are some test. Some the statistical tools are used to find out or analyze the healthcare data. Epidemiological tools to study disease distribution and risk factor, and this is for the tracking out the outbreaks and calculate disease spreads and identify the root cause of the disease. Examples hai incident rates, prevalences and risk ratio. Then screening tools. Uh, these are the tools which are detection of the identifying the diseases, early detection of the diseases, and it is for preventing several disease and initial early severe diseases and initiate early treatments like BP monitoring, glucose test, and mammography. These are screening tools. Case study and case reports. Detailed documents of the single patient or specific event. Well, to understand this, understand the rare diseases. If someone having a rare diseases, then document each and every moment of the patient disease history, and if you have to record that and understand that rare disease, find out unique symptoms, find out the outcomes of the medicines on this disease, and this case report is used for identifying the new disease and the solution to that. Uh, Another tool is focus groups. These are the groups of patients and staffs and caregivers, and there are groups which groups how these groups are going to be improve the healthcare program in the society, uh, and this is completely based on the user experiences. For designing, this will may help the designing of better vaccination awareness program. Checklist and rating scales. This is a structured tool to measure the symptoms or quality of the care, and standardizes basically the patient assessment and reduce medical errors. Um, this is example of this is a pain rating scale ensures proper pain management. So this is rating scale ensure proper pain management. So rating is in how much pain you have. Standardizes the things. For that, this is the checklist and rating scales are there. Biostatistical tool, mathematical tool for validating the results, increasing accuracy, reliability, and scientific validity of the findings. Uh, for example, the p values in the test, hypothetical testing, p value confirm whether a treatment is effective or not. So this is the p value is associated with the effectiveness of the treatment. Clinical audit tools. These are the systematic review of the clinical process and outcomes. Uh, this is actually provide the improvement in the quality and safety of uh, efficiency in the hospitals, and also this is for the management side. This is for providing the management a good uh, clinical supports in the hospital. These research is going to be performed, and certain medical audit procedures are there, and through that we have to check the entire system for the medical use. What are the impact of research methodology tools in healthcare? So these impacts are pretty precise. Improve the patient care first. So this will helps to this tool helps to understand the patient needs, symptoms, and satisfaction level. and treatments, and what are the treatment outcomes. So this will improve the patient care importantly. Second, enhance diagnostic accuracy. Second part is diagnostic accuracy. You need to improve lab diagnostic tool allow to early and accurate detection of the disease. Support evidence-based medicines. So there are statistical and analytical tools for provide the support and provide the reasoning for each and every medicines. And each and every medicine based on some logical and analytical, based on the analytical and logical reasoning based medicine, not only for the assumptions. Ensure safety and effectiveness of new treatments. In that category, clinical trials, tools, new tests, new drugs, therapies are going to be approved. Help track disease and outbreak. Epidemiological tools monitoring disease spread, infection rates, and risk factors. These all comes in the health track and disease and outbreaks. And then the improve hospital efficiency and quality. So for that, observational tools are there, audits tools are there, checklists are there, standardization for the standardization. These all are reduce the errors and improve the healthcare process. Next is enable the better decision making. Data analysis tool guide policies, hospital planning, and clinical decisions. Strengthen public health programs. So this is for the survey and focuses on groups helping design effective vaccination drives and awareness campaigns and healthcare policies. Increase research accuracy and reliability. So biostatistical tools validate result and reduce the errors inside the data. So reduce biases or errors in the healthcare studies. Last one is support early detection and prevention. So this is screening tools helps and identify diseases before symptoms appears and reduce mortality rates. So these are the future of the healthcare tools. So AI and machine learning tools are there, and these tools are going to be used to improve the healthcare system. These tools uses algorithms to analyze the data sets and detects patterns and develop a support decision making. Uh, for that, the what are the impact? Impact is simply the faster analysis, early detection of the diseases, improve diagnostics accuracy, and reduce the human errors. Second, IoT devices and wearables. So this is for recording the data. Smart health devices are there. The devices collect the real-time physiological data, especially from wearable devices. And for that, better monitoring of the patients uh, is there. And then we are able to collect the richer data set because we have to continuously record the data. We have to collect the richer data sets, enhance since the chronic disease studies and accelerate the clinical insights. Third, a big data and predictive analysis is there. We know that we have a right now we have a huge amount of medical data. So how to store this huge amount of medical data is the problem. So big data is somewhat the comes in the category of AI. Yeah, big data and predictive analysis are there, which hold importantly provides the platform to store the big data, huge amount of data, and provide the processes, map reduce processes, and any processes, parallel running processes, which are going to process the data and analyze these large volumes of data and large volumes of heterogeneous health data and different types of data. Uh, it basically impact is that enabling population level study, forecast future health trends, and support the personalized treatment. So we have a detailed study of the big data and predictive analysis to give the detailed study of the population. So you can get the entire population data and then you have to start processing it. You are able to process it through these tools, and after processing it, you may get the meaningful information from that data. Virtual and remote clinical trials. So online based trials are there using digital consents. Uh, Telemedicines are there, and remote monitoring tools are there. So this may reduce your cost, lower cost, faster recruitment, wider participation, participant diversity, more accurate real world data is there. Cloud based research platforms. So cloud based research platform is there to store the knowledge, to share the knowledge, to store the information, knowledge and data, to store the important knowledge and data, share the data, analyze the medical research data. So many firms are going to be sign the MOU and then put their data on cloud to do the joint research. So this will give you the global collaboration in the field of healthcare and reducing the infrastructure cost and instant access of data sets and tools. You may get the variety of the data also from this. And the next technology is trends is somewhat the blockchain data security systems. The blockchain data security system decentralizes the data and centralizes the data according to the requirements and provide the security in the data also. So blockchain data security in somewhat medical health, data privacy, one of the aspect in the medical field also. So it may get through these topics, you can work on that. So this may protect patient privacy, reduces data tampering, and increase the trust in the data sharing. So blockchain is provide basically a data security aspect. Then advanced biostatist and software. So next generation statistical tool for complex medical data. These are more reliable results, faster statistical modeling, and higher quality clinical conclusions you can draw from these softwares. So there are softwares are there which are standard softwares are there made by the companies, the famous companies, and these you performing the study based on these statistical tools, you may get the proper outcomes through that. Automation in the research process, automated system for data cleaning, transcriptions, coding, and report generation. So many systems are available nowadays which are easily do the research on the data. Saves time, minimize human errors, allow researcher to focus on insight rather than manual task. Integration of EHR, electronic health records, linking patient medical history with research database. You have to provide the privacy also in these data sets. And one of the aspect, integration of these electronic health record. So you may get the for the researcher, researcher can able to get the uh, wide variety of data to performing their research. More comprehensive studies, longitudinal research improves disease understanding. Genomics and precise medicine tools for analyzing the DNA biomarker and genetic variations are there. So these genomics and precision medicine tools are different kinds of the field where we going to study the genes, and genes data are there, and this is a high level research for identifying the root cause of the diseases, and how you improve the immunity of the entire humankind. So highly personalized treatment plans, new drugs discovery, and advanced disease predictions are there. So these are the future impact, and these 10 fields actually, AI based field. These all are AI based fields, and these fields are there for doing the research. So you can do the research on through the analyzing the data through AI ML, or you can do the research to make an IoT devices, or to collect the data from some available IoT devices and process it accordingly, to generalize the data. You can perform the big data, develop the big data plate infrastructures to execute the analytical part. Virtual systems, virtual platforms you can develop, cloud-based solution you can provide, security you can provide through blockchain. You can do the advancement in the biostatistics tool, automation process. Maybe you are able to do the research in how to integrate the EHR to global systems. So because different countries and different organization having a different kind of EHR system, to make a common EHR system, means you have to find out your procedure, which is you are going to be normalized, and you have to make a common format for EHR. So the research is going to do on EHR also, and some genomics, precision medicine tools. You can do the research on genomics also. So these are some of the important tools I'm taking, references I'm taking out, uh, and these are the references through which I'm preparing this PPT. So thank you so much. If anybody asks any question, to please go ahead.
Hello.
Hello.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir,
Yes,
actually,
please.
you have suggested lots of research methodology tools which are
Yes.
applicable for the primary collection of the data set and for their analysis purpose.
Right.
But when we apply all these tools, so these tools are generally applicable for the primary collection of the data set. So when we talk about the primary collection of the data set, the data will be very less.
No, no,
And
no. No, no. See, you want a
Mhm.
specific thing. You want it a specific to fulfill a specific objective, right? And for a completion of that specific object, you need a specific kind of a data. You know, for example,
Okay,
you want a specific information from me. You know, so you have to ask very personal question to me, right?
okay,
You want very personal, you want very personal information to me, then you have to ask a question differently, and very personal question
okay,
to me, then I'm able to answer you, right? And that information is useful for to get the insight from my answer, right? For that, for very customized research, you have to perform you have to collect the data as per the requirement. Secondary data, normally the data is collected by other peoples, right? And they collected the data as per their own requirements. And you find it the answer in that data. So maybe that the information you want from this is not appropriate data set to find this information. Right. That's why I'm saying that for very customized outcomes, you need to find out the process and generate collect the data by your own. So sometimes you have to collect the data by the third party and make it to process that data and make your own data. So you collect the data
but
from different parties and then make your own data. And this is also why
but
said
sir,
to be a data collection. Right.
but sir, in such circumstances, how we can maintain the privacy of the individuals?
Privacy of the individuals. See, you
Actually, we
are
are asking the personal questions, no, sir. So there may
Yes.
be some privacy issues.
See, you mixing up two things, you know.
Yes, sir.
You getting the data from secondary sources, है ना?
Yes, sir.
And you may get the data from the secondary sources, and second you want that the secondary sources will give you a not all information, only the precise information, right?
Okay.
See, whenever our data
Yes, sir.
is collected, data is a complete data, है ना? So one party having a complete data, है ना? And that source when you collect the primary data, you are the original party. You have all information.
Okay.
So what kind of security you want from the collector? You are the whole sole parent of that data, na? So you have all information. When you sharing that data to some
Yes, sir.
other people, then
Got it,
you
sir. Got
may
it.
hide that data portion of the data and share to
Hmm.
others.
Got
But
it, sir.
when you
Got it. Sir,
collecting, when you yeah.
sir, but when we talk about the secondary sources of the data set, that means the open repositories, like the data which is available in the GitHub, Kaggle, or UCI
Right,
machine learning
right.
repositories. But when we talk about the healthcare domain, so very less amount of healthcare data is available in the open source repositories. So that
Right.
data will be insufficient for generating or for developing a
That's
machine
why
learning model which are applicable for the predictions.
that's why the different researchers are collaborating, and they have to sign the assignments. They have to sign the MOUs, sorry, and based on that MOUs, they are going to share the data, right? They are going to share the data, and based on that shared data, they have to perform the research. Because
Okay.
see, the medical information having a very crucial information, very private information, somewhat you can say.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
whenever a hospital is not want authorize any other people, not authorize any other people to perform the research on that. So uh, that's why we are going to say that the secondary means these informations are very private informations, you can say. So
Yes, sir.
you may get collaborate to the authorized groups which are going to perform research, and the authorized
Sir,
centers share the information, and based on that you have to perform the research. The
sir,
data
how we
available
can
on the Kaggle and other sources, they are the
Yes, sir.
public
Yes,
data.
sir.
Some maybe some data is there which are you make it open to do
Yes, sir. Yes.
anything. है ना? There are data from that you can find out any information to make it public. So that data is what said available on the Kaggle and other sources. So some data hospital may want to do the public to perform the research, and some data are very personalized data. They may not allow any other people to perform the research on that data. They only allow the authorized people to perform the research on that data, right?
Right, right, sir.
See, if you wanted to see the Kegel data, you find MRI images, you know. These
Yes, sir.
MRI images is not associated with any particular patients, you know. You cannot find out the patient through the MRI images. So means you cannot perform the reverse engineering, right? So that data can be they can share on these websites. But some of the materialistic data
But sir,
means the
actually,
age, the genders, the like,
yes, sir. Right, right.
the genes data,
Actually,
right?
in a healthcare sector, uh, all these parameters depends on the age also, age and gender also.
Right,
Because
right,
suppose
right.
these
Community,
parameters vary from
your
gender to
genes,
gender and yes, sir,
genes,
from age.
your
Right, right.
society, है ना?
Your
Your
environment.
breed, है ना? Western
Yes, sir.
peoples are different than the Indian peoples, Indian
Sure,
subcontinental
sir.
peoples.
Yes,
So
sir.
each and everything is there. So they some parts are there which are not they allow to share to each and everyone. See, healthcare sector is a very demanding sector, right?
Yes, sir.
तो
Right, sir.
है ना, सो एवरी पीपल वांट व्हाट, क्या चाहते हैं सब लोग, सब ये चाहते हैं कि हम इसमें ज्यादा से ज्यादा पैसा कमाएं, ज्यादा से ज्यादा इसमें इनोवेशन करके रेपुटेशन और अपना इमेज बनाए। इफ दे
Sure,
हैव
sir.
डेटा, इफ दे हैव डेटा, तो वो अपने ही रिसर्चर से उस पर काम कराना चाहते हैं।
Yes, sir.
सी, इसमें सबसे मुश्किल तो डेटा कलेक्शन ही है, डेटा आपके पास होता
Yes,
ही
sir.
नहीं है।
Main problem is that. Yes,
है
sir.
ना, सो यू हैव टू कोलैबोरेट एंड यू हैव टू मेक द पार्ट ऑफ द रिसर्च टीम्स। है ना, जो
Actually, sir,
एम्स
I
की
have.
रिसर्च टीम है, सिर्फ सपोज एम्स की रिसर्च टीम है, you are associated
Yes,
with
sir.
the research teams of AIMS, then they allow us to give you some portion of the data, do research on that data, so you can
Actually, sir.
perform.
Actually, sir, they
Just
provided very less amount of the data, and
Hmm.
worldwide, the government also introduced some privacy laws like HIPAA rule is there, PDPB is there.
So
That
that
means Health
so
Insurance
there is a
Portability and Accountability Act, Personal Data Protection Bill Act.
they see
So
they
they don't
provide a
want to
data.
disclose. They
Listen,
provide,
they
sir, very
provide
very
a,
less amount of data, sir.
yes, they
I have
provide very
contacted, sir.
less
They provide.
amount of data,
Yes, sir.
but they provide a key elements of the key portion of the data. See,
Yes, sir.
which
The
they
data
allow.
will be in the anonymized form, sir. They have
Right,
hide it free columns, so that data will be insufficient to train the machine learning models. That is the main reason, sir. That is the main problem.
right. That's why I'm saying ना कि उनके
Yes, sir.
साथ जब तक आप नहीं जुड़ोगे, they are not allowed to
Mhm.
give you the entire data.
Yes,
सी,
sir.
दिस इज वेरी डिमांडिंग सेक्टर, है ना, इसमें बहुत कुछ हो सकता है अगर कोई रिसर्च आगे बढ़ती है, तो अभी
Sure, sir.
उसमें बहुत कुछ अभी हम लोग क्या है, हेल्थ केयर या मेडिकल फील्ड में बहुत पीछे हैं, है ना।
Yes, sir.
सो हम लोग ह्यूमन बॉडी को जानते ही नहीं है, वी नेवर नो, अब ओनली 5% वी नो कि क्या है
Sure,
ह्यूमन
sir.
बॉडी।
Sure, sir.
सो
Definitely, sir.
देयर आर लॉट्स ऑफ स्कोप इन दिस फील्ड, and if they are launching a new medicine, suppose they are making a vaccine of a particular disease, let's say cancer disease, so वो उसको जो उसका जो पेटेंट होगा, उसका जो जो जिससे वो कुछ सालों में जो पैसा कमा सकते हैं, वो तो अलग ही होगा। तो ये एक बिजनेस भी है, रिसर्च हेल्थ केयर एक बिजनेस भी है ना, मेडिकल सेक्टर, मेडिसिन प्रिपरेशंस, मेडिकल इंस्ट्रूमेंट प्रिपरेशंस, है ना, ये टूल्स प्रिपरेशंस, ये भी एक तरह का आपका बिजनेस है। तो इससे साथ ही गवर्नमेंट भी इस पे बहुत काम करती है, इन्वेस्टमेंट करती है, ताकि हम भी वर्ल्ड में कहीं एक रेपुटेशन ला सके इस फील्ड में। हेलो,
Hello.
हेलो।
Hello. Ha- Hello, sir. My voice is audible.
यस यस यस, डन
Ha.
सर।
One hand is raised by the one person, participants.
यस,
If you have any queries, please feel free ask, or else we will conclude the session. So, okay, sir, there is no query. So, on a behalf of the entire organizing team of Atal FDP as well as the Gyan Ganga College of Technology, I extended my heartfelt gratitude and thanks to Dr. Akhtar Rasool for delivering such a fruitful session.
थैंक यू सो मच सर, एंड
And
थैंक यू ऑल
and
फॉर
one more
पेशेंट
thing,
लिसनिंग।
sir. One more thing, sir. It is what time is not a matter for the learner. The people are still is very energetic in asking the question. It's 9:23 in the winter session. So we sincerely thanks to you, sir, for giving the very wonderful session and delivering your knowledge, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
थैंक यू सो मच सर।
We are ending the meeting, dear participants, and do not worry about your attendance. Daily basis, we are updating your attendance. You can find your attendance updation in your Atal credential. Thank you so much. Now we are ending this meeting.